don't talk about our friends.
Oh, fine.
Michael.
Yes, okay, who came on the show last week. So it was Sir
Tom.
And Sir
Michael.
This is King of Thieves, which was previously called something else, but it's now called King of Thieves. I have to say, I don't think it's the right title. Screen adaptation of the Hatton Garden robbery from 2015. In the real-life robbery, a group of elderly thieves, tea leaves, planned and executed the robbery of the Hatton Garden safe deposit. It took place over a long Easter bank holiday weekend, during which many surrounding businesses were shut, and they were in there for quite a long time. The heist has already inspired numerous films. There's Hatton Garden, the heist with Sidney Livingston and Michael McKell. There's the Hatton Garden Job, which is also called the Last Heist with Matthew Good, Phil Daniels, Jolie Richardson. There is also a 4-part miniseries starring Ken Cranham and Tim Spall, and now this. So it is a story which almost immediately, I remember when the headlines happened, when the story first happened, people said, who's going to star in the movie? It's something which sort of seemed to be making itself for a movie. So this has got, I mean, the stellar cast. You've got Jim Broadbent, you've got Michael Gambon, you've got Tom Courtenay, you've got Michael Caine, you've got Ray Winston. It's the heavyweight hitters doing the story of these guys breaking in and stealing diamonds. Here's Michael Caine.
Look, see this? EDF. That's a pure diamond. It's colourless, so it lets in the most light. Up there, XYZ. You cut that too shallow, you lose the light out the bottom. You cut it too deep, you lose the light out of the side. FL, that's a flawless diamond. A flawless diamond, cut well, in the right light, is the strangest thing and the most beautiful thing you will ever see. It's true. They'll be in the vault over the weekend.
How much is a flawless 6-carat diamond worth?
£1 million to you.
How many of those are in the vault?
A few. You only need a few.
How much more Michael Caine could he be?
Fantastic.
None.
If you want more, check out the interview on last week's show.
Yeah, which is very good. So, directed by James Marsh, who's got a very good back catalogue and has in the past done drama and documentary, taking real stories and dramatising them. And so what you have here is a real story that needs to be dramatised, and it's an interesting story. The problem with the film is this. I think, on the one hand, it's not gritty enough to be sort of, have that documentary realism thing. You heard there from the music in the background, it had a sort of, very much a sort of 60s swing vibe to it. And on the other hand, the drama itself is fairly straightforward. I mean, with the exception of some flashbacks to old Glory Day movies and bits in which we see the characters now, we see flashbacks of their old past. The construction, the storytelling is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not taking any sort of huge risks. The other problem is it couldn't quite figure out how much it wanted to be comedic and how much it wanted to be tragic, because there's sort of underlying. I mean, Tom Courtenay was talking about this, about when his character is talking about the other characters, it's very duplicitous. And every time Tom Courtenay says very duplicitous, it's funny. But the situation itself actually isn't that funny. The one thing about the film that was surprising, and I think the one thing that raises it slightly above that level, is that despite the fact that when you look at the cast list and when you think of the story, you think, oh, it's going to be, diamond geezers do diamond robbery. And actually the thing that's interesting about it is that they're not diamond geezers. In fact, they get more and more unlikable as the drama goes on. I mean, Michael Caine's character, the film sort of remains broadly sympathetic toward. But, I mean, I cannot remember the last time I saw Jim Broadbent being...
Nasty piece of work. And that, I thought, was the one thing that it did, it did get completely right, was that it's not just that they bicker and that there's a lot of stuff about, oh, my hip hurts and all that kind of stuff. It is that there is a sense of nastiness, but it's kept very much at bay by the tone of the film itself, which is essentially, it's got a kind of caper feel to it. I mean, heist movies can be... Again, sorry to talk about genre things, but heist movies can be, serious socio-political things like Dead Presidents, or they can be capers in the manner of Ocean's 8, and this therefore would be Ocean's 80. I just thought of that. Hey. But it's an awkward balancing act that it doesn't quite get right. So I thought it was
it was fine, passably entertaining whilst it was on. I'm not entirely sure how much life it will have outside of the UK, and I think that it doesn't ever click into something that makes it. I mean, the whole is less than the sum of the parts.
And a couple of times, obviously, because it does share some of the cast members, a bit like watching Dad's Army, which I enjoy.
The film of Dad's Army.
Film of Dad's Army, because you look at this talent that's on the screen, you think, this is good, this is enjoyable. I mean, I agree with everything that you said, but when you've got all those people, there's a lot to enjoy and wallow in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, so that's the thing that you see it for that kind of, but you're not going to watch it because you think, oh, it's a groundbreaking movie, or it's a really well put together heist movie, or it's something that really, I mean, it's in the cinemas at the same time as American Animals, and that is a film which takes a true story and does something much more inventive with it.